Hi, are you working on a project and heard tons of project terminologies that you just weren't 100% sure exactly what they meant? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 10 project terminologies that I have defined just for you. Hi, I'm Adriana Girdler, and I'm president of Cornerstone Dynamics and myvisualvision.com, and I'm also a project management professional. And in this video, as I mentioned, I want to share with you the terminology that I come across all the time that I do find within my projects. Some people are not 100% sure exactly what they are, and you can see them right up here to my right. All right. My first one is, and I have my little cheat sheet here, is sponsor. They're also known as project sponsor or an executive sponsor. And the official definition for this is a person who ultimately has authority over the project. This person provides funding, direction, and is the champion of the project to the organization. This is a really critical role. And interestingly enough, I find sometimes it's a ghost role. Organizations will have projects and they'll put a sponsor in it, yet the sponsor's not acting as the true champion in the organization. So as important as this definition is, the role is even more critical, and would suggest strongly that in your projects, if your champion is kind of hard to find, you should really take a look and ensuring that you find your sponsor so they can start promoting stuff in the organization. Number 2, stakeholder. Now, that is specific people that have a stake in the outcome of the project. Most of the time, stakeholders come from within company, but depending on the project, you can have external stakeholders as well, like suppliers. So this is really everybody who's potentially involved. That could be from the sponsor all the way down to project team members. Number 3 is steering committee. A group of high-level stakeholders who are responsible for guidance on strategic direction, roadblock removal, and general approval of project-related items. Now, your sponsor may or may not be part of your steering committee, but they're usually high-level executives who have the ability to, 1, remove roadblocks, which is really important, 2, ensure that the priority of the organization is still being kept in check within the scope of the project. They're there to approve items that are happening and really keep it aligned with the strategy of what's happening overall. Steering committees are excellent, highly recommend it. Sometimes I find organizations will actually try to skip the steering committee and do one-on-one. Don't do it. Please, please don't do it. Really have that formalized meeting. It makes a huge difference in successes of projects versus kind of the one-offs that happen. Number 4 is scope statements. Now, this is probably the heartbeat of your project. And what is a scope statement? Well, it describes what the project is about. It's the boundaries of what will and will not happen. So we talk a lot about what's in scope and out of scope. That's what the scope statement does. Highly recommend as a project manager, if you are a project manager, that you work with your sponsor in creating the scope statement. This is going to give the direction that you need to ensure you have project success. And everyone is then very much aware of what they're supposed to deliver on. Number 5 is gold plating. And what is gold plating? Well, it's adding extra features or functions to product or the project or an actual service that your project is doing that's not included in the scope statement and is usually done by the team to no additional cost to the project. Now, it's interesting because gold plating may seem like a really great idea. Oh my God, we're giving extra stuff. But I promise you, it's actually a bad idea. And from a project management standpoint, we actually really highly recommend you do not gold plate. It can create issues without you realizing. You created a scope statement, you did all your planning accordingly, and if you go and do over or above items, they actually can be detrimental sometimes without recognizing and realizing it. So really get clear on your scope statement. Understand what the needs of your customers are, what the needs of the sponsors are. Get that all done in writing so that everyone can move forward working towards that plan. And please do not gold plate. Number 6, scope creep. This is in that line of gold plating, but it's slightly different. And the definition for this is, it refers to uncontrolled changes in the scope due to interference of stakeholders or customers or due to misunderstandings of the scope by the project manager. So I've seen projects killed by scope creep, because what happens is usually internally a manager will say, oh, just add this to the project scope statement without taking into account resource, budget, time, and now you're scrambling, you and your project team are scrambling to get this extra stuff done because someone thought it would be a good idea without understanding the full ramifications of it. It's the job of the project manager and the team to stop scope creep. Now, that being said, yeah, you may have new items that have to be added to a project, but go through the formal channel of change control makes a big difference. Number 7, charters. I love charters. So here's a definition for charters. It's a document that kicks off the project. It has project objectives, it has a scope statement, deliverables, risk assumptions, project organizational charts, roles and responsibility. It's created by the PM, which is a project manager, and it's sent to all the stakeholders who are part of the project for signature. This is your lifeline in your project. It sets the tone. It gives all the information that your team members need in order to be successful. It lays out the expectation. What am I responsible for? What are you responsible for? When are we going to get this stuff done? And I love the signature part because it makes people accountable. I've used my project charter in many ways, heavily in the beginning of a project and towards the end, more as just a reference document, particularly when I find team members perhaps may not be delivering towards roles and responsibilities, or if a sponsor or a steering committee wanted to change something, we go back to the document. Powerful, highly recommend it, and the charter is a must. I do have on my website for free a mini project charter template that you can use for smaller projects. You really should have a charter for everything because it gives the direction needed in order to be successful. So definitely check out my free template. Just go down below in the verbiage under this video and you can click and get that free download. Number 8, WBS. Now, you can have a lot of connotations for those 3 letters, but I am not going to go there. It is work breakdown structure. And what is a work breakdown structure? Well, it breaks down the project deliverable in a hierarchical fashion in manageable sections. It's very similar to organizational chart. In fact, in one of my past videos, I actually talked about a work breakdown structure when you're looking to organize your time. But a work breakdown structure is something like the charter. It's the second core piece of document that I could not run a project without. It takes massive concepts and breaks them down into these manageable chunks so you have an understanding as to how you're going to deliver on your major milestones, your tasks, etc. It just makes your project work a lot easier because you now have an understanding how to break it down. Number 9, action plans, also known as work schedules, also known as work plans, also known as schedules. And I actually call my action plans work breakdown schedule or even a structure. So what exactly is all that? Well, it really is the project plan that tells the project manager all the tasks that need to occur to complete the project with responsibilities and due date. So just like the charter is the first key document that delivers all the information, your work breakdown structure allows you to understand what the hierarchy is so that you can then go to this next part, which is your action plan, right? What is it that we're going to do? Who's responsible for what? What are all the tasks associated with it? Again, the project manager works off of this. It's a live document. It's constantly changing, being updated, because as time progresses, things are changing within your project, and you have to manage it. Do not manage a project without some sort of work plan, schedule, WBS. It doesn't matter what you call it, but you need one. And ironically enough, I do find some team members that go, oh, everyone will take care of their own tasks. One single location. It is critical for project success. Last but not least, number 10 is risk planning. So what is risk planning? It's a systematic approach to identifying all possible failures in a process, product, or service. So really you're looking at the failures within your project. Now, I have a tool that I use and absolutely love. It's called a FMEA, which is a failure mode effect analysis. You can find them on the internet. And it really looks at potential causes, where those failures can happen. It has a great ranking system. Once you determine what your ranking is, you can do action plans, mitigation plans, and you add them to your project plan. And it is just a really lovely way to ensure that when risk comes, because risk always happens within a project, something occurs. I've never come across a project that does not have any risk. you are going to mitigate it, and you're going to minimize, as I like to say, the gaping hole. I'm either going to fall into a huge pothole and I can't get out, or I'm going to trip over a crack because I've done all my risk mitigation. So that's my top 10 list. If you want more information on project management, I highly recommend you visit pmi.org. That's projectmanagementinstitute.org. Great wealth of information, project management tips and trades and templates and all that fantastic stuff. As well as, don't forget to go to the verbiage below this video under the Show More section, and you can download my free charter template. It's for mini charters, just small stuff that allows you to be very controlled. And then again, giving you the structure you need to be successful on projects. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please ensure you subscribe. Share this video with your friends and family and colleagues. I really would appreciate it. Anyway, you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you at the next video. Thanks.